Stop right there. Yeah, you. If you like all things entertainment, current events, or Hollywood, then look no further. Creator to Creators, hosted by director Meosha of Horror Noir, interviews filmmakers and creatives from around the world. Join in on the fun, guest celebrities, and informative information to have as a creator. Hit subscribe and stay connected to Creator to Creators.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Creators to Creators today. Today, we have a special guest.
I'm Christopher Sky.
Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. Thank you. I'm super excited. I mean, I've seen a lot of your work. I love that we're on social media, so I see a lot of the things that you're doing. You're always working, you're putting stuff out. I love that. And I've always been like, I gotta talk to him. I gotta get him on the show. Like, get to know who he is.
Yeah, I
Like,
appreciate you
just
for
love it.
having me.
Yeah, definitely.
Doing my best,
You're
I
doing
love what I
great.
do. Yeah, I'm passionate about it, and I gotta keep the momentum.
Absolutely, 1000%. So I love asking people, and I love to go back to the beginning, the childhood. And I always love starting there because I always say, like, the things that the little habits and things that we pick up, like, they
Yeah.
kind of somehow follow us in our adulthood and kind of make us who we are, kind of in a way. Um, so tell me a little bit about your childhood. What was that like? And then kind of how you found your way into acting.
Um, so my childhood was interesting. So I was born into teenage parents. My mom and dad got pregnant with me at 14 and had me at 15. Um, my mom was kind of like on the streets. She didn't come from the healthiest household at the time, and same with my dad. And he had been selling drugs since he was like 14. And my mom left her house. My dad was on the streets already, and they came together and had me at 15 or well 14 turning 15. And my mom kind of struggled and did what she had to do, and my dad would go like in and out of prison and he wouldn't really be there, so that's kind of like what I was born into. Um, but as far as just acting and stuff like that, my mom said I was 4 years old and I was like watching TV, and I pointed to the TV and told her that I wanted to be on the TV. So I don't know, I guess it's just one of those things that's just, when you're young, you just want it. You just, on the spiritual level, it's just like, this speaks to me. And I don't
Yeah.
know why, you know.
That's so cool. That's amazing that you didn't become like that you didn't go down that path of on like what things that you did see and the things that you surrounded around. But I mean, kudos to you that kind of, that this like you knew what you wanted to do and you figured it out. What do you think helped you kind of not go down that path of the things that you were surrounded by?
You know, just God, because honestly, I don't know. I don't know. I grew up, I have cousins, uncles, family members that all grew up the way I did. And, they went on to not be as successful, or, you know, um, they tended to be a bit more of a victim of their environment and stuff like that. I don't know how, but
Yeah.
I didn't, but I easily could have. So I have a lot of grace for
Yeah.
them, because I'm like, this easily could have been me, but it just
Yeah.
wasn't. You know, it's just like I said, it's one of those spiritual things where it's just I just naturally was just different. I've always felt different. I've always been different, and growing up, I would get made fun of it.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. And then I grew up in Atlanta. I grew up in a very black community, so we got that thing in our community where if you don't act hood or ghetto, or do a lot of typical things, you're different, you're weird, you're white.
Oh
So
God, yeah.
it's kind of the stuff I went through a lot growing up.
Totally understand that. I was called an Oreo. I was bullied so badly in school. Like, I used to hate school. And I was like, I gotta figure something out because I can't go to school. Like, this is terrible. So yeah, I
I
feel
thought
you.
it helped me build character, honestly.
Yeah.
Characters that I use.
Yeah, I know, right? That you like you can dig from in that place that in to you can use it for like into your art and
Yeah.
your characters that you have. That's really, really awesome. Was there anybody that you were like that you saw, like as far as like acting, or it could be on television, that you were like, now that I want to do that. That is what kind of career I want.
Um, early in my career, no,
Okay.
but as of recent, I saw Joaquin Phoenix's Joker.
Oh, that was good.
Like, oh, this is such a character, so edged out, but so real and grounded. I was like, that's what I want to do. I want to make like these like really interesting, like captivating characters, but I want them to be so real that you don't feel like you're watching a character.
Yeah.
I've always loved characters. I've always loved just kind of really stepping outside of me. But a lot of character actors have gotten a reputation of being a character E. You know, I
Right.
think Joaquin, he does an amazing job of playing characters, but so grounded and so real.
Yeah,
Man,
he's amazing.
yeah,
Amazing.
he's one I looked at and I was like, I need to be like this.
Right. Yeah. Oh yeah. You're absolutely amazing. You got it in spades for sure.
Thank you.
1000%. Yeah, I think about when you said characters, I think about like a Johnny Depp. He does a lot of those kind of like, those kind of characters. And then you're just like, I think he really loves like doing those. Like he really, it's really interesting. Yeah. But I think
Yeah,
Joaquin does it in a different way. I don't know.
that's it. So real, so like just like everyday person kind of thing. Johnny
Yeah.
Depp does it. He really steps to the character. He makes it kind of like crazy and like fun, or like really where you feel like, okay, this isn't an everyday person.
Hmm. Yeah.
But it's also very interesting to watch because sometimes we like to step into that creative realm. We like to see the uh the Willy Wonka that's like crazy, or we like to see the Edward Scissorhands. It's like I got scissors for hands. It's just like we no one's watching Edward Scissorhands like I want to watch a realistic performance. So
Right. Exactly. Exactly. So I'm curious. You said growing up in Atlanta. So with was the acting and that world, was it did you feel like you um didn't really have, like, because you're in LA right now.
yeah, yeah, I am.
Is there a difference as far as like Atlanta's market versus Los Angeles market to you? And like, do you feel like you've expanded more since you left Atlanta?
Yeah, yeah. So Atlanta, I did a lot of indie movies, a lot of kind of low budget productions. And then if you got anything network, it would be a filler role because they would cast out of LA.
Yeah.
And then they would fly people in for like the leads and stuff like that. Because a lot of people like to boast like, oh, Marvel movies and stuff like that are being filmed in Atlanta. But you're not gonna get a role as an Atlanta actor in those movies because
Mm,
they're already cast. You'll get like a sentence.
got it. Yeah.
Uh, so there was a lot of audition for a lot of co-stars, a lot of like one-liners and stuff like that. It's oversaturated with a lot of actors auditioning for like one-liners, and you
Gotcha.
don't really feel like you get to act. Like if I'm saying one line, it's like you could get somebody off the street and have them say one line.
Right.
So
Right.
it's all the actors competing for something that anybody can do it was really hard. And came out here and it was hard, but it allowed me to like really act because I started auditioning for like major stuff, um, stuff that had multiple pages, multiple paragraphs, and it allowed me to really step into a character, step into somebody else's shoes in life, and really develop something. Um, and of course, just when you start getting those roles, of course, you can progress a lot faster than if,
Definitely.
like, oh, I was in such and such. And they're like, what did you do? And I was like, oh, I was the coffee man. That's it. So
Yeah, no, no, that's awesome that you did that. That's kind of how I felt when I was, because I'm originally from Florida, and I was like, there was nothing really going on at the time, but as far as
yeah.
like film stuff. I mean, I think I did my first, I guess, professional gig was in Pensacola, Florida, which is working on a Roy Jones Jr. set. So that was like the start of it. And then I think I ended up staying in Pensacola for 2 years, and I was like, all right, I gotta get to California because like that's like the mecca, right? Like everybody
Yeah.
wants to do it. It's like a lot of work. And yeah, and he, it was that kind of like I had to get away from that, and I'm so glad I did. Like, yeah, you're right. It's a lot more opportunities, especially in California. Like, everyone's there, so
Yeah, no,
it definitely
yeah.
helps.
That's the best come here.
Yeah,
You know,
right.
it
Exactly.
helps you. You got to fight. You know, and just something about it being harder just helps you develop character, and it helps you. It makes you be better,
Yeah,
and that's what I appreciate about the city.
definitely. So, I'm just curious, and this is, a fun question. I love asking everyone this on the show, and there's no wrong answer. But like, if you could be managed by anyone in the film industry, living or dead, who would you want to manage you and why?
Who would I want to manage me and why? Ooh. Um, wow. I never thought about anything like that. Probably, probably DiCaprio.
It's a good one. That's a great one. It's a good answer.
Probably DiCaprio. Either DiCaprio, just for experience and depth, and just really getting into those characters. Um, because there's something very unique about him,
Yeah.
and the
Yeah.
way he does it just so like boldly and confidently, and he can go and lead a film and just murder it. And then um my number two would be Viola.
Oh, God. Yeah. She's amazing.
And I feel like Viola would particularly look out for me, of course, because POC, and I think that's a nuance that's very important that a lot of people don't understand.
Mm,
That representation, and being with someone who understands that. Um, but I also love her for the same reason, just being bold and really stepping into her characters, and confidence in the range and diversity of what she's played. You know,
yeah.
I think those two really, really pushed me and inspired me, and they would work wonders for me if they managed me, of course.
Definitely. No, that's awesome. That's also great, great answers. I love that. That's a great combination. Super lethal.
Oh,
Um,
imagine being both
oh
what?
my God. You're
Yeah,
like, you guys can't tell me anything.
right. Nothing stopping then.
Right, exactly. I'm just curious. So, you get to California, you're doing the things, you're working. What's I guess because I saw in your bio, you've done like Lifetime, you've done a lot of different things, BET. What's one of your most, I guess, memorable projects that you just like sticks out and you're like, wow, yeah, I did that. Like, I can't believe I actually got that.
Okay, it's that scene of me yelling in Sins in the Suburbs.
Okay, nice.
Because that was my first very prominent role in a network show.
Nice.
Um, it was the first time where I literally was supporting. I was pretty much one of the leads. And so not only was that one of my first big roles on the network, but it was a very intense character. It's a character who
Mhm.
gets drunk, who cheats, who like yells and goes crazy. And I had fight scenes and I had dying scenes, and that I've never been through anything that intense. I've never got that opportunity, other than of course on stage, but that was my first time on film getting that opportunity. And for me, um, in my head, I'm thinking if I murder this is like the start. But it's a lot harder than that. Knowing being in way more films now, that it's not always about you as the actor, but it's about the project in general. I
Yeah,
can I can murder a character, but if the project isn't seen by everybody, then no one knows about it or knows about you.
right.
Um, but still, that performance and stuff, being able to execute that and see that, and getting a call from the director like every time you step on a screen, the movie's just amazing. You bring such a presence, and to see it, I still watch this day and I'm like, this is me. Like, this is amazing. Such a, it's such a great, powerful, like intense scene. And to know I executed it so well, and to know that on set I did it the first take,
That's
and it came.
awesome.
Oh, you can't stop me. You can
Yeah.
stop. And also that, and also the first network role I've done ever, I was butt naked on Eric Andre's show. No one knows this.
Eric Andre, I gotta go back.
No one knows this. So no one knows this. It's kind of like, I don't know too many people that know who I was and what I did in Eric Andre's show, but it was my first TV role ever, and I was butt naked, head to toe, and I had to come out in front of the whole everybody, gaffers, stunt people, DP, everybody, and they they like they lowered me down from like this like rope thing, and I was butt naked, and I like dropped on somebody. And it's like this whole like crazy. It's Eric Andre show. It's like this whole crazy
Oh, it's
skit.
crazy. I know.
Yeah, but after doing that, I was like, I can do anything. If I'm old enough to come out butt naked in front of all these people on national TV,
Yeah.
oh, what can I do? You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
And that was a big just affirmation to me, like, oh, I did this. Oh, I'm confident. I'm bold. I can do anything.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, yeah, yeah, absolutely. I mean, it really takes a lot of like it's very vulnerable feeling. Like it was like, oh, all right, let's do this. We're working. But that's
I'm
amazing.
glad it didn't feel the most vulnerable because it was comedy. So I
Uh-huh.
think it was also a great way of me feeling kind of like just okay with it. Like,
Okay.
it's funny, it's goofy, it's crazy. But I'm glad it wasn't like some like crazy intimate naked scene. I'm like, oh, this is my first role and I gotta do this. But hey, that too, if you could do that your first time, oh,
Oh
you're
yeah.
you're set. You
You're
can do
set.
anything.
Oh yeah, 1000%. Like there's nothing, I mean, there's nothing you can't do at that point for sure. That's really cool. I love the Eric Andre show. It's really funny. But I've never seen the episode. Now I gotta go back and I'm gonna check it out.
Season 5, episode 9.
Okay, I will. I'll check it out. Um, no, I that's really cool. Like I always ask actors and just anybody in the creative field, like, you know, as you know, as time goes on and now that, we've kind of got out of this whole, after COVID happened and then the whole SAG situation and that was pretty scary. Do you feel like things are getting better for actors and people just as time goes on, do you feel like things are going to change and stay that way?
I don't know.
It's a good answer. It's a great answer. Okay, who knows, right?
But sometimes I find hope and sometimes I don't. That's one thing I don't know.
Yeah,
Best thing I can do is what I do, and that is take one day at a time.
that's a good. Yeah, that's yeah, great
Hope got
perspective.
high, but the reality of the situation is no one knows. Even the
Yeah,
people in power don't even know. They don't know. You know,
yeah, yeah,
they, we're just hoping and seeing, and technology is advancing so fast. And then it's like if people can save money, they will. It's the capitalist kind of structure. It's the Wall Street structure. Um, and we live in an industry that's not ran by creatives. It's
yeah.
full of creatives, but ran by executives. So uh, I don't know.
What keeps you going though?
God keeps me going. Just trusting and knowing that. And then this is funny, but knowing that I'm gonna die, it's like,
Mm,
coming to terms with your morality. It's like, why would I stress over something? It's no point. I'm gonna
yeah,
die one day. I I get stressed, especially if something isn't actively happening. What am I? Am I gonna spend the whole day worried about something that could happen 2 years from now and then die 2 days from now? It's like, no, I'm gonna make the best of each day and each moment and just be grateful. So actually knowing that I'm gonna die one day keeps me going, because it's like, because you start to let things go. You don't let things impact you as much. It's like everything has to go one day.
oh
This
yeah.
is this means nothing and everything at the same time.
Hmm. Yeah, that's a great that's a great way to look at it for sure. Definitely. I'm curious, the I always like to ask this question too. The three levels of influence: money, power, and respect. And if you could choose one of those things, which one would you choose and why?
Respect. And I would say respect because um, I don't care about the other two. I mean, I want to get treated right. I want people to just respect me, and when people respect you, that just that feeling, that love, that connectedness, it just feels better than anything. Like I can't imagine you're powerful and hated,
Yeah.
or you're powerful and um, you don't like your life. You don't, you know, you
Yeah.
hate your money. You feel the same way, but respect is something that is earned. And I mean, you earn money, you earn power, but respect is something particularly that you earn based off of uh, other people. That
Mm.
that people that you develop some kind of rapport with people, and they give that to you. You know,
Yeah.
be a shitty person, you could be hateful. People could hate you. You can make money, or you could be the worst person ever. There's so many political figures that we could use as an example.
Yeah.
Um, they have power, but people look at them and they're disgusted. They hate the things that they do.
Yeah.
But respect, I think respect is the one that, and this is me thinking in an optimistic way.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
not respected because they're scary, but I mean respected as in I earned it by being a respectable person and by treating others with respect and kind of earning it back.
Yeah. No, I love that. That's a great answer. Very great answer. No, that's a, it's, I always wonder, because, I had one guy, and he goes, money. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I'm like, hey, listen, no, there's no wrong answer. It's what you want it to be.
Yeah, but the thing about money, especially if you want it, I feel like it's harder. It just from a spiritual manifestation, just kind of perspective, it's harder to receive money wanting it so bad.
Hmm.
Because first of all, you have law of detachment, and then second of all, the energy of money itself is an object,
Yeah.
and it in itself has no value.
Mm.
And I
Hmm.
think value is where we want the money to go, what we want to experience and buy with the money.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, that's the real energy, that's the real substance. And I think when you focus on that, that's when the things you need to make those experiences happen come, such as money.
Yeah. No, it's great. Very good outlook. I like that.
Yeah.
I because I mean, I remember, God, there were times that I was eating ramen noodles. I mean, doing the film stuff, it was hard, to
Yeah.
get your name out there and just kind of work it. But I think it is hard work. And I think society now, we live in such a, no one really wants to work for stuff anymore. People just want some microwave success. Like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna get into this thing and I'm
Yeah.
gonna be great. I'm like, it's a process.
We live in instant validation and instant kind of what you want.
Yeah.
You want, you can just go find it on the internet or something.
Yeah.
Like, oh,
That's
I want to travel, but I can go look at TikToks of people traveling. I want, or you feel like, oh my God, this person came overnight success because they did this one funny video, and
yeah.
and you see that happening over and over again through like social media, or um, you only see people posting their success and never their journey, and so you're thinking like, oh, they just got it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right, right. Like yeah, exactly. Like you don't see the down times. You only see the successes, a post, of course. That you only, it's like a resume, you're putting your best foot forward. And I think a lot of people, unfortunately, look at that and think, okay, that's, but you just never know, you know?
yeah. You got to think about like if somebody had a job open,
Yeah,
how many people would be qualified to do that job?
right.
What what determines if a person gets that job doesn't have to just do it, they're qualified. It's
Right.
so much more than that. There's so many qualified people. There's so many people that could act. There's amazing, great actors who don't work. So much more than that. So much more than black and white.
Yeah.
People ask for advice. I don't know what to tell you. I'm so serious. People ask me, "How did you get in this movie? And how do I get in this industry? And how do I work in movies like you?" I'm like, I don't know how I did it. It's just one of those things that
Yeah.
it's really spiritual. It's really a lot deeper than just, oh, I decided I want to be an actor. I started going to classes and auditioning and just this just happened to me. There's people that have been doing that for 30 years and still aren't successful. And there's people that have done it once, like Gabby from Precious. She just went to audition for the first time and
Yeah.
became. You never know.
You never know. Yeah, it's really interesting. I think, and I think it's like, I love telling people, everyone has a different path. Just because you don't get it right now doesn't mean you're not going to get it. Or if somebody gets it now, doesn't mean that, that you should never like size yourself with somebody else or compare. Just, like you said, work hard, do what you got to do. And I mean, there's really no right formula because everybody has different formulas running around here.
Yeah. And,
But
and
I agree with you. It's definitely spiritual though. 1000%. I'm a PK kid, so definitely God is a part of the foundation, definitely the foundation of everything of why I do what I do. Because I feel like, we are here for a reason, and we're using our gifts and talents to share with the world something, whatever that thing is that your gift is. And that's, I think, because I think the world is hurting right now. A lot of people are going through a lot, like mentally, just a lot is going on. So, it's good.
and you is it
Yeah.
and if you really look at the history of humanity, we live in the safest times there is to be a human, but
Yeah.
there's more anxiety and depression than ever. And it's because we're oversaturated with everything bad going on, you know.
Yeah.
So we don't know how to essentially roll with the punches because we always feel like we're getting punched nonstop. And it's
Mm,
really just this oversaturated just info that we have. You know, there's so and then we have a tendency to gravitate towards it. There's
right.
so many good things going on, but none of that is trending.
Right. Right. Isn't that wild? Is that what's
So you just see bad thing after bad thing, or crazy thing after crazy thing, because that's what gets people attention. That's what get people to react. And that's kind of the formula, the sensationalism of media that keeps
Yeah.
glued to our phone, our TV, and stuff like that. They keep us feeling like the world is gonna end and stuff like this, and we're like watching everything like, okay, what did this happen? What okay in this country is this or is it World War III? They
Yeah.
keep us like that to keep us engaged, to keep us watching, and I think that it's all a matter of what you allow yourself to see and feel, because you can think the world's going to end in World War III, or this bomb is going to come, and or this war is going to happen and the world's going to end, and then you could just go out and die in a car accident. And
Yeah.
life is you have to learn how to roll with the punches. You have to learn how to take those things, and you decide what you want to fixate on. You really
I
got to take it.
1000. I love what you said. I love that. I love that. You got to roll with the punches because that's literally what it is. 100%. Um,
Yeah.
I was gonna ask you, what's one of your like something that you haven't played yet that you like would love to like just get your sink your teeth in as far as like
uh,
characters?
Talking about this. I want to play a doctor. I play everything,
Ah,
different roles, but I've never played a doctor. But
interesting.
my producer friends were like, "Oh, well, you're too young." They're like, yeah. And I'm
Really?
like, "Oh, I get it now," because doctors are seasoned. You know, at my age, a doctor would be in like grad school.
Oh, I
At my
see.
age, that no one.
I love it. A doctor. That's fun.
Yeah, when I get some grays and I'm a little bit more like, just older feeling, I could be a like doctor. I'll be like a
Okay.
doctor surgeon or something. Right now, I'd be a very young doctor, very young surgeon. And we know Hollywood likes to stick to the what people perceive things to be. You know,
Hollywood. Hollywood. Do you feel like I don't know, just and this is just, just a question, and just want to pick your brain about it. But um, do you feel like Hollywood they have their agenda overall, and so people want to get? I mean, it's everybody. I mean, Hollywood is such a influential thing. Everybody wants to be in Hollywood. Like when I went out to Ireland, I was like, people were like, "Oh, Hollywood, yeah, I want to be in the film industry." I was like, "Wow, it's like such a huge phenomenon, right? Everybody wants to. I don't know what that is, why it's such a sought after thing, but do you feel that
Talk about
huh?
the three things he talked about: money, power, respect.
That
That's
yeah.
and from most people's perception, that's a clear cut way to get all three of those things.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. d- do you feel like it's gonna like do you feel like you can like basically what Tyler Perry did, he basically said that Hollywood didn't want him. They didn't think that his stuff was good. And then he went on to become this billionaire who has a studio. And I always wonder, like,
He works for Hollywood. He
well, yeah, he works with Hollywood, yeah. But
he's
you know,
contracted for BT and MTV, which is owned by Viacom, which is one of the media conglomerates of Hollywood.
yeah, true. Yeah, I guess he's like the only one to me, like as far as like why do you think that he's the only one that started the studio thing? Like, as far as like as a black man, like there's so many powerful black men in the industry. I would think that wouldn't that be the goal, is to just have your own outside of Hollywood, and like the more like you have your own structure, and wouldn't that actually, you know what I mean? Create
Yes,
change.
yes. Own can feel unrealistic.
I
Um,
see.
it's a conglomerate, right?
Yeah.
Um, they own all the media pathways. They own like movie theaters, the radio, the TV. They own the streaming companies. They own people's attention spans. You know,
Mm.
um, so as someone who wants to be successful with this conglomerate, it's like you can't essentially build that without tapping into it, right? Um, Issa Rae did it on her own, but she became A-lister and she became this massive like name through HBO, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Uh, and that's just the reality of it. That's the reality of the conglomerates and capitalism.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but just on a, I guess not as deep of a level, just having your own studio. Um, I think that's simply feeling everything, knowing everything, and still doing it, which most people, 99% of people won't do it. They're
Right.
like, oh, I don't have no power. Hollywood controls everything. I don't have money. I don't have the resources. And there are two people. There are people that, which like 99% of people that are like, I can't. It's Hollywood runs everything. I can't do it. Everyone's trying to stop me and get in my way. And then there's the 1% that's like, it seems impossible, but I'm gonna do it anyway. And I think for Tyler Perry, it's simple. He just did it anyway.
Just did it anyway.
Did
Yeah.
it
Yeah, no, I just always curious if that, you ever see your Denzel Washingtons, or, you see people trying to do like production companies now, like your Will Smith and his wife, they got those. And I think Viola got, and her husband has a production company. But like, yeah, I always wonder, like, I hear these through lines around like on interviews of like, oh, we got to change things. I'm like, well, you have a name, you can make it happen. You can create opportunities. And yeah, I mean, I don't
But
think you have to go through Hollywood.
I think a big difference between them and Tyler Perry
Yeah.
is unique content.
I see.
Tyler Tyler Perry has a sensationalist. He creates these kind of sensational films and
Yeah.
TV shows. They're so dramatic and sometimes so just off putting, or they're very just like just weird.
Yeah.
What what the sister was sleeping with the boyfriend's dad? Like who does that? Who put this in a film? This is crazy. And
Right,
it's
right.
been so like what?
Right, right.
No, she did not just do that. And I think I think he creates these scenarios that are just so sensational.
Yeah.
They're so sensational, and we're just like, whoa, what? Even if it isn't the highest
Right.
quality, the top of the top, whatever, people perceive to be as good content. Just the creativity in it, the uniqueness in it in itself. Because I mean, I took my friend to go see this highly rated, award-winning film the other day, and he's like, "This is boring," you know. But see, with Tyler Perry, he'd be like, "Oh, the quality ain't the best," but
But I know my
he
audience.
he be laughing, crying, all through. You know what I mean?
Right.
Um, and so I think Tyler Perry just has a very unique feel.
Yeah.
It's a Perry movie. You
Oh,
know what I mean?
1000%. Yeah. 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 No,
Unique.
that's
You know what I mean? Like TikTok. There's TikTokers that make content that's cringy.
yeah.
We can't stop watching it because even though everybody hates their content, even everybody hates their personality, they're so unique and just so interesting.
I got to keep watching.
Oh, I can't look at this,
Right.
but I kind of want to. Where do you going with this? What's going on? And I think he has that.
Definitely. That's no, it's great. Where
Yeah.
can people find you on social media to follow you and everything that you got going on and all the things you got?
Instagram is where I keep all my acting stuff, all my updates. Christopher Sky official. Christopher Sky official.
I love that. No, this was such a great conversation. It was really fun to pick your brain. Loved it. Thank you so much for coming on and sharing your knowledge and your perspectives. And I love that. Love that. Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
Yeah. Oh, and do you have anything that's coming out that you'd like to share?
Okay, right now I have Stay Out, which is like my pride and joy at the moment. I play Rufus. It's such a great horror movie. I play such a great role in that. Um, and it's on BET Plus, but you can also find it on Amazon Prime
All
and
right.
Apple. And got some things coming out in theaters in February, and
Woohoo.
got some TV shows, movies on the way. A lot of stuff I can't say too much about, but
Oh,
they are. You keep an eye out, you'll be seeing me.
all right. Thank you so much. The time is going down, but it was great chatting with you. You got to come back in the future, and we wish you all the best of luck. And yeah, thank you again.
Thank you.
And thank you all for listening. And always remember to live, love, laugh. We see you guys next time.